Fatty liver. How to reverse it naturally, without any medication. Channel introduction. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This channel is all about building long-term wealth. And here is the thing we truly believe. Your health is your very first and most important form of wealth. So alongside wealth creation strategies, we also talk about living a healthy life. Because without your health, none of that wealth really matters. Video opening. Alright guys, so here is something kind of alarming that I want to talk about today. Fatty liver disease is becoming incredibly common across America. In fact, studies show that nearly 1 in 3 Americans has some form of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Think about that for a second. If you are sitting in a room with 3 of your friends, chances are one of you has it. And here is what makes it even more concerning. A few years ago, doctors were mostly seeing this in adults between 25 and 45. But now, it is showing up in teenagers and even kids. That is how widespread this has become. But before you start panicking, I want you to hear this. Fatty liver is 100% reversible. Doctors themselves confirm this. And the best part, you can fix it right at home, without a single prescription medication. Think of it like a fire alarm going off in your house. The fire is small right now. If you act fast, you can put it out without any damage. That is exactly what this video is about. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what fatty liver is, what causes it, how to spot it, and the precise steps to reverse it within 2 months, for good. So let us get right into it. Chapter 1. What exactly is fatty liver? Let us start with the basics. Your liver is one of the hardest working organs in your body. It filters toxins, processes nutrients, produces bile for digestion, and does hundreds of other jobs every single day. Now, it is completely normal for your liver to have a tiny bit of fat in it. That is not a problem. The problem starts when more than 5% of your liver cells get surrounded by fat. That is when doctors officially call it fatty liver disease. Think of it like this. Imagine your liver cells are little workers in a factory. When fat starts piling up around them, they cannot do their jobs efficiently anymore. The whole factory starts slowing down. Now there are 2 main types. The first is alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is caused by heavy or binge drinking. The second, and far more common one today, is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or an AFLD for short. This one happens even in people who never drink a single drop of alcohol. And this is the one that is exploding in America right now, largely due to our diet and sedentary lifestyles. One thing I want to address right away. If you have non-alcoholic fatty liver, that does not mean alcohol is suddenly okay for you. The World Health Organization has been very clear. There is no safe level of alcohol for human health. Even one drink starts creating risks. So that idea needs to go out the window immediately. Chapter 2. The 3 stages of fatty liver. How serious can it get? Here is something a lot of people do not realize. Fatty liver does not stay in one place. If you ignore it, it progresses through stages, and each stage is more serious than the last. Stage 1 is simple fatty liver, or steatosis. This is where fat has accumulated in more than 5% of liver cells, but the liver is not yet inflamed or damaged. The sneaky thing about this stage, your body usually gives you 0 obvious warning signs. You feel completely normal. This is exactly why so many people miss it entirely. If stage 1 is left unchecked, you move into stage 2, called non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, or NASH. Now, the liver cells are actually starting to break down, and the liver becomes inflamed. This is where real damage begins. Leave stage 2 untreated, and over time, you can develop liver fibrosis and eventually liver cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is when the liver essentially scars over, shrivels up, and loses a significant chunk of its ability to function. This is a serious, life-altering condition. But here's the good news I want you to hold on to. We're talking about stage 1 today. And at stage 1, complete reversal is not just possible. It is almost guaranteed if you make the right changes. The liver is one of the most resilient organs in the human body. It can regenerate even after 90% damage, if given the right conditions. That is remarkable. So the key is to catch it early and act. Chapter 3. Who is most at risk for fatty liver? Now let us talk about who is most vulnerable, because understanding your risk is the first step to prevention. The number one risk factor is carrying excess belly fat. If you have a noticeable gut, a beer belly, or what some people call an apple-shaped body, your chances of having fatty liver are significantly higher than average. Here in America, this is incredibly common. Think about the standard American diet. Fast food burgers, loaded with white bread and refined carbs, supersized sodas, chips, cookies, and processed snack foods. All of these cause rapid fat accumulation around the midsection. And that belly fat does not just stay in your belly. It creeps into your liver too. The second major risk factor is overusing over-the-counter medications, specifically painkillers like acetaminophen, which you know as Tylenol, and nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. A lot of Americans reach for these at the first sign of a headache, backache, or any minor discomfort. Studies have clearly shown that overusing these medications damages liver cells and triggers inflammation. Take them when you genuinely need them, but do not make them a daily habit. The third risk factor is having type 2 diabetes or high cholesterol. There is a well-established connection between metabolic disorders and fatty liver disease. In fact, doctors say that if you already have fatty liver, you are standing on the first step of a staircase that leads to type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. This is why addressing fatty liver promptly is so important. It is not just a liver problem. It is a whole body warning signal. Chapter 4. Symptoms. How do you know if you have fatty liver? This is where things get a little tricky, because fatty liver in its early stages is often completely silent. Most people find out by accident during a routine checkup or an ultrasound done for something else entirely. That said, there are some subtle signs that your liver may be struggling. You might feel a dull, achy discomfort on the upper right side of your abdomen. Interestingly, this discomfort often feels worse when you are sitting up, but eases when you lie down. You might also notice that your digestion feels sluggish, especially after heavier meals. You ate what you thought was a normal amount, but you feel bloated and heavy for hours afterward. A persistent, unexplained fatigue is another clue. Not the tired from a long day kind, but a constant low-grade exhaustion that does not go away with rest. Some people also develop dark patches of skin around the neck or in skin folds, a condition called acanthosis nigricans. And occasionally, small skin tags may appear on the neck or underarms. But again, many people have none of these symptoms at all. If you want to know for sure, ask your doctor for an alt blood test, also called a liver enzyme test. It is simple, affordable, and widely available. If your SGPT or alt value is above 40, that is a red flag worth discussing with your doctor. Do not ignore it. Chapter 5. The root cause. Why fatty liver is a lifestyle problem. Here is the most important mindset shift of this entire video, and I really want this to land for you. Fatty liver is not some mysterious disease that randomly strikes people. It is a lifestyle disorder. Plain and simple. It develops when we consistently eat poorly and do not move our bodies enough. Think about it this way. Imagine your body is a bank account. Every time you eat whole, nutritious foods, you are making a deposit. Every time you eat processed junk, fast food, or excessive sugar, you are making a withdrawal. If your withdrawals consistently outpace your deposits, your account goes negative. Fatty liver is what a negative health balance looks like in your liver. The formula to fix it is beautifully simple. D plus E gives you F. Diet plus exercise equals fatty liver gone. That is it. No magic pill, no expensive supplement, no procedure needed. Just these two fundamentals, applied consistently. When someone is diagnosed with fatty liver, the very first thing doctors recommend is to reduce body fat by just 10%. That single change alone is often enough to normalize liver function completely. So let us talk about how to do that. Chapter 6. The diet plan. 5 pillars of liver healing nutrition. This is the heart of everything. What you eat is responsible for roughly 70% of your results. Get this right, and you are already most of the way there. The key principle is to swap refined foods for whole foods. Think about the difference between white bread and a slice of whole grain bread, or between a bag of potato chips and a bowl of oatmeal. Refined foods are stripped of fiber and nutrients, spike your blood sugar, and dump excess energy straight into your liver as fat. Whole foods do the opposite. They nourish your liver and help it heal. Here are the 5 pillars. Pillar 1. Ditch refined grains and diversify your whole grains. Cut out white bread, white pasta, white rice, and anything made with refined flour. Replace them with oats, barley, millet, quinoa, and whole grain options. And here's a tip to keep things interesting. Rotate them. Monday morning could be a bowl of steel-cut oatmeal with some veggies mixed in. Tuesday, maybe a bowl of barley porridge. Wednesday, you could try a whole grain wrap or a chippy flour pancake, similar to what some call saka. Lunch could alternate between quinoa bowls and whole grain wraps. This variety prevents food boredom and gives your liver all the micronutrients it needs. Pillar 2. Load up on legumes. Beans, lentils, and legumes are absolute superfoods for a fatty liver. Think black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, and navy beans. These are high in soluble fiber, and a 2019 study specifically confirmed that dietary fiber significantly helps reduce liver fat. Aim to include some form of legumes in at least one meal every day. In America, this is easy. Add black beans to your taco bowl. Throw lentils into your soup, or snack on some hummus with veggies. Pillar 3. Eat a raw vegetable salad once a day. Before your lunch, build yourself a colorful raw salad. Include beets, which are particularly excellent for liver health, carrots, cucumbers, cabbage, and whatever other fresh vegetables you enjoy. Dress it simply with some lemon juice, black pepper, and a tiny pinch of sea salt. Eat the salad first, before the rest of your meal. Beets are especially powerful here. Research shows that the betaine in beets directly helps reduce fat accumulation in the liver. You can also roast them as a side dish if you prefer. Pillar 4. Eat fruit every single day. Every fruit is beneficial, but for fatty liver specifically, apples, papayas, oranges, cantaloupe, and watermelon are particularly helpful. For nuts, walnuts are the star of the show because they are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are known to actively reduce liver inflammation and fat. Grab a small handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack instead of reaching for chips or cookies. Pillar 5. Cook with healthy oils only. Eat plenty of seasonal vegetables, but ditch the vegetable oil and canola oil when cooking. These refined oils are inflammatory. Instead, switch to cold-pressed olive oil, avocado oil, or pure coconut oil. In America, extra virgin olive oil is easy to find and is one of the best choices for liver health. Just making this oil swap alone can make a meaningful difference over time. Chapter 7. Intermittent fasting, the thread that ties everything together. Now here is where things get really powerful. Those 5 dietary pillars we just talked about are like individual pearls. Each one is valuable on its own, but when you string them together with intermittent fasting, you create something far more potent. Intermittent fasting sounds trendy and modern, but honestly, it is just how humans used to eat before the age of 24/7 convenience stores and late-night delivery apps. Think about your grandparents or great-grandparents. They ate dinner around 6 or 7 in the evening, went to bed, and had breakfast around 8 or 9 the next morning. That was a natural 15 to 16-hour fast every single night. Modern science is now validating exactly this pattern and calling it circadian rhythm-aligned intermittent fasting. Here is a simple version of what it looks like. Have your first meal around 10 in the morning. Have lunch around 2 in the afternoon. Have your last meal, dinner, by 7 in the evening. That creates roughly a 15 to 16-hour fasting window overnight, without you even skipping a meal. What happens during that fasting window is remarkable. Your body, specifically your liver, gets a rest from constantly processing food. It switches into repair and detox mode. The liver is one of the few organs in the human body that can regenerate even after 90% damage. Intermittent fasting gives it the quiet time it needs to do exactly that. Now I know what some of you are thinking. I work late. I get home at 9 or 10 at night. There's no way I can eat dinner by 7. That is a real and valid concern. The key is to shift your eating window to whatever works for your schedule. Even a 12-hour overnight fast is better than nothing. Start where you are and gradually work toward a longer fasting window. Try it for just 1 week. You will feel the difference. Chapter 8. Exercise. Just 20 minutes a day is all you need. Diet does most of the heavy lifting, about 70% of the work. But exercise is the accelerator. Scientific studies have concluded that people with fatty liver who exercise at least 150 minutes per week, which breaks down to about 20 minutes a day, see significantly faster results than those who only change their diet. The great news is, you do not need a gym membership or a complicated workout routine. 20 minutes of any physical activity counts. You can go for a brisk walk around your neighborhood. You can jog on a treadmill. You can do a YouTube yoga video. You can lift some weights. You can shoot hoops in your driveway. You can swim laps. You can jump rope. Whatever gets your body moving and your heart rate up is perfect. The American Heart Association already recommends 150 minutes of moderate activity per week for general health. For fatty liver reversal, hitting that number is especially important. So find something you actually enjoy and just start moving for 20 minutes every single day. Chapter 9. Home remedy number 1. Sugarcane juice. Alright, now let us talk about 2 incredibly effective natural remedies that work beautifully alongside your diet and exercise plan. Think of these as the catalyst, the thing that speeds up the whole process. The first one is fresh sugarcane juice. Now, I know some of you in America might not have grown up drinking sugarcane juice, but it is worth getting familiar with it because it is extraordinary for liver health. When someone has jaundice, which is a sign of serious liver stress, doctors actually recommend sugarcane juice as part of the recovery protocol. That gives you a sense of how powerful it is for the liver. Fresh sugarcane juice has been shown to bring elevated liver enzymes, specifically SGPT and SGOT, back down into normal ranges when consumed consistently over 1 to 2 months. There are documented cases of people whose SGPT levels were over 300 when they should be below 35, who brought those levels back down to the 50 to 60 range in just 3 to 4 months of consistent sugarcane juice consumption. That is genuinely remarkable. If you live in a city with a significant South Asian or Latin American community, you can likely find fresh sugarcane juice at local juice bars or farmers markets. Some Indian and Mexican grocery stores also carry it. You can even find sugarcane stalks and juice them at home if you have a heavy-duty juicer. Here are the rules for getting the most out of it. Always drink it fresh. Do not buy bottled or packaged sugarcane juice. It needs to be freshly pressed and consumed immediately. Do not add salt, and try to skip the ice, or use very little. Sugarcane juice is naturally cooling on its own. You can add fresh lemon juice, a few mint leaves, and a small piece of ginger to enhance both the taste and the benefits. Drink it on an empty stomach, either before breakfast or at least 2 hours after a meal. Do not drink it after 5 in the evening, as it is best absorbed earlier in the day. And most importantly, be consistent. Drink it daily for 2 to 3 months. That is where the real results come from. Chapter 10. Home remedy number 2. Kutki, the Ayurvedic liver herb. The second natural remedy is a lesser-known but incredibly powerful Ayurvedic herb called kutki, also known botanically as Picrorhiza caroa. This one might be new to most of you watching from America, but the science behind it is genuinely fascinating. In one notable study, scientists injected liver-damaging agents into lab mice. Then they gave those same mice kutki. Within just a few hours, the liver had healed. That kind of rapid regenerative response caught the attention of researchers studying natural liver treatments. In Ayurvedic medicine, kutki has been considered one of the top herbs for liver health for thousands of years. It has shown positive results even in serious cases of liver damage, including cirrhosis. For something like fatty liver, which is far less severe, its effects can be quite significant. There are 3 main reasons kutki works so well for the liver. First, it has a naturally cooling property, which helps bring down the heat and inflammation in a stressed liver. Second, its antimicrobial properties actively reduce liver inflammation at the cellular level. Third, it acts as a gentle liver detoxifier, helping clear out accumulated waste and toxins. Here is exactly how to take it. Mix half a teaspoon of kutki powder with half a teaspoon of raw honey in a small amount of water. Stir it well and drink it. Kutki is quite bitter on its own, but the honey balances it out and makes it much easier to take. Take it either 30 to 60 minutes before breakfast or right before bed at night. Do this consistently for at least 1 month, and ideally 2 months, and you will see your liver markers improve. You can find cookie powder at Indian grocery stores, Ayurvedic herb shops, or online through retailers like Amazon. Look for a reputable brand that specifies it is Picorrhiza Koroa. Summary: to bring everything together, fatty liver sounds scary, but it is one of the most reversible health conditions out there. It develops fast when we eat poorly and move too little, and it heals fast when we clean up our habits. The formula is straightforward. Cut out refined flour, sugar, and fried and processed foods. Replace them with whole grains, legumes, fresh raw salads, fruits, walnuts, and vegetables cooked in healthy cold-pressed oils. Practice a 15 to 16-hour overnight intermittent fast by simply having dinner by 7 and breakfast around 10. Move your body for at least 20 minutes every single day. Add fresh sugarcane juice before 5 in the evening on an empty stomach, and take kutki with honey each night before bed. Do all of this consistently for 2 months, and your liver will thank you in ways you can feel. Just remember, the home remedies are the catalyst. Diet and exercise are the foundation. Do not skip the foundation. End credits and sign off. Guys, that is a wrap on today's video. I genuinely hope this helps you or someone you care about. Fatty liver is incredibly common, but it does not have to be your story. You have everything you need to reverse it naturally, right from your own home. If you found this video valuable, please do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really does help this channel reach more people who need this information. And if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe right now. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your health is your wealth. Take care of it. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.